This is a story about the truth will be known in the end. When I was a little boy, we lived on a small farm and we had chickens, we had sheep, we had steers. We also had ponies. My brother and I each had a pony, and our neighbor boy had a pony, and we had a lot of fun riding our ponies. And we liked to play that we were cowboys. And so we would go in the pasture and we had sheep in the pasture. There were probably 12 or 15 sheep in the pasture, and they helped to keep the grass from getting too long. And so, but nobody paid too much attention to the sheep and how many there were or anything like that. It was just they helped keep the grass short in the pasture. But we liked to play cowboy, and so we would go out in the pasture. We would get our ponies, and the three of us we would ride our ponies, and we would ride up to the sheep, and we would get the sheep to start running, and then we would ride our ponies. We would just ride bareback. We didn't put the saddles or bridles on. We would just ride our ponies bareback, and we would ride beside the sheep. And as they were running, if we could get them along the fence or the creek, there was a creek in the pasture there. If we could get them running along the creek or along the fence, and then we could get real close to them, and we could be running alongside of them, and we could lay down on the backs of our ponies, and then we could slide off the back of our pony and onto the sheep, and the sheep had long wool, so we could grab onto the wool. And even though we were small, if we could do it just right, we could hit the sheep, and we could roll them over, and we would say, yes, we're cowboys, we rolled the sheep. And so it was entertainment for us, and we like to do that. The one summer we were off of school and we um, had this, well, we wanted a place to go swimming. And so the creek that went through our pasture was just a very small creek. It wasn't very big, and it was enough to maybe wade in up a little over your ankles, but it wasn't deep enough, certainly wasn't deep enough to go swimming in. But one summer we decided we want to make a place to go swimming. So we got sticks and mud, and we there was a place where the creek was in between it. The banks were about uh, maybe 4 feet, 3.5, 4 feet high. So we thought that'd be a good place. So we dammed it up and we made a little pond so we could go swimming, and we could go in there and we could swim and we would have fun swimming in there. So one day we were playing cowboy and we were riding our ponies, and we had the sheep and we were running along the side of the creek, and one of us slid off the pony and onto the sheep and rolled the sheep. But unfortunately, we were right beside the little pond that we had dammed up to go swimming, and the sheep rolled kind of down over the bank, and the back half of the sheep got into the water, and the poor sheep couldn't get back up. And the more it pawed at the bank, the more muddy the bank got. We jumped off the pony. We tried to push the sheep back up the bank and get it out of there. But the longer the sheep was in the water, the more its wool soaked up water. It got heavier and heavier, and we couldn't get it out. And slowly, slowly, the sheep sank deeper and deeper. And the further the sheep went down, the heavier it got. Eventually, just the sheep's head was sticking out. And then the sheep went completely under the water and it drowned. Oh, we felt so bad. We were so sorry for the sheep and for what we had done. But we didn't want to tell anybody because we were scared about what our dad would say if we told him what we did. So we didn't say anything, but we knew there was a dead sheep in our swimming pond. So now we couldn't go swimming because who wants to go swimming in a pond where there's a dead sheep? So it ruined our swimming, and We were scared. What's going to happen? Well, nobody knew about the sheep, and we thought, okay, that's good, because like I told you, nobody counted our sheep, nobody paid too much attention to the sheep, so nobody knew that one sheep was missing, except us. We knew one sheep was missing, and it bothered us, but we were hoping that no one would notice. Well, for a while, everything went fine, and nobody knew that a sheep was missing. Okay, everything's good. But we weren't engineers, and our dam wasn't all that strong. And one night, there was a big thunderstorm and lots of rain. And as the rain came and the creek rose, the water got higher and it washed out our dam. And there, the next day, in the pasture was a sheep skeleton, a dead sheep. And then the truth was known, and we had to say what happened to the sheep because we knew what happened. So, sometimes we can hide things, and sometimes we can pretend that things didn't happen, we don't know what happened. But generally, the truth will be known. And so it's best just to admit the truth right away because the truth has a way of coming out and being known.